the concern with the instructions, which is frankly the most critical part, they have no facts. Let's be clear. I sat through this trial, and I would tell you if I was concerned on factual basis. But as I've said, and I'm not speaking now to posture for the president, but just generally as an attorney, as an American who understands the law and how to apply laws to facts, there are no facts that support this alleged crime. We're not even sure what the crime is. So it's a books and records issue. We have to make sure that the jury charges that Judge Merchan, who, again, we have said is severely conflicted for reasons that I can't speak to because of the unconstitutional gag order. But this judge is the judge that determines the jury instructions. The jury instructions are the roadmap for non-attorneys and jurors to follow the law. It's going to be critical, and frankly, at this point, I have zero confidence in the fact that this person, who should not be sitting on the bench right now, will do the right thing and give jury instructions that are in an appropriate manner without any persuasion towards the prosecution. There's my biggest concern. It always has been. There was no case. As we saw, the taxpayer dollars have been wasted for 8 years for a case that is past the statute of limitations that doesn't exist in a political campaign to take down Trump. So now you've held jurors for 5 weeks. We've been sitting here. We saw no facts. And the last resort for the prosecution is going to be this judge with political motivations going to give them instructions on how to decide the fate of a former president and the future president of the United States.
Hello, everybody. As you heard, what's happening this week is we're going to hear closing arguments in the most historic case in U.S. American history, an actual former president being tried criminally. Whether you like the case or not, whether you like Trump or not, it is hard to deny. Don't take my word for it. There's tons of legal experts, scholars, professors. It is hard to deny not only the conflict of interest between the fake Don Judge Juan Merchan, but the charges, the statute of limitations that aren't there. You heard from Alina Habba, but just everything that has shrouded this case. And I love the fact that it has not swayed the American public. You see, they think we're stupid. They think we're dumb. They've been saying it for years. It started 5-6 years ago with Russia hoax, with Benghazi and Hillary Clinton, with Hunter laptop story. All of these things, they think we're stupid. They can pull the wool over our eyes, and they are absolutely desperate. There's zero policies. There's zero things they can stand on. And they think that by putting a actual candidate behind bars, that's going to prevent us from voting for who we want to vote for. So with all intents and purposes, after closing arguments, after both sides rest, there could be an actual verdict coming out this week. So let's talk about this. What would happen if the former president, Donald Trump, is found guilty? What are some potential outcomes that could happen? Well, let's talk about one, sentencing. Trump faces 34 counts of falsifying business records, each carrying a maximum sentence of 4 years in prison. Now, since the charges are non-violent and Trump does not have any prior criminal record, it's very unlikely, although I wouldn't put it past this absolute biased judge, biased criminal justice system in New York, Alvin Do Nothing Bragg, I wouldn't put it past them. However, it is very unlikely he would face any significant jail time. The highest kind of penalties he might face are fines, probation, or some sort of conditional discharge. The political implications, let's talk about those. A conviction would be a historic event. It would be the very first time in our history, which makes it so deeply saddening because it's nothing substantive. It would be the very first time that a U.S. president has ever been convicted of a crime. A lot of people think that, at least the woke mind mafia thinks, that this would significantly impact his presidential campaign. That independent voters, centrists, or people who are still on the fence might go, well, see, he's guilty, because they believe, state media, CNN, ABC, CBS, all those woke state media propagandist machines. Well, he's a convicted felon, so it might sway the sort of kind of undeciders, let's just put it that way. I would love to hear your thoughts, because I know that his numbers have only gone up since they charged him. And I actually think if he is found guilty, and they actually do place him in prison, which is what they want. They want that optic. They want that photo op. They want him in handcuffs. They want him walked into a correctional facility. I think that is almost going to seal Tombstone Biden, Vegetable in Chief's doom, and actually put him over the edge and elect him as president of the United States. What about a mistrial or appeal? If the jury cannot reach a unanimous verdict, a mistrial could be declared, leading to a possible retrial. If he's convicted, Trump is probably more than likely, definitely, going to appeal the decision, which could prolong the legal processes and leave the final outcome uncertain for some time. Now, if he appeals, will he have to face any jail time? If he's convicted and subsequently appeals, it's very unlikely that he would face jail time immediately. Here's how that would break down. Because the reason I'm kind of headed in this direction is I definitely think there's going to be a conviction. I think there's going to be a conviction, and I definitely know with every fiber of my being that he's going to appeal it. Now, having said that, my hope is that there is going to be some logic, some sort of coming to your senses moment for one of these jurors that he is acquitted, because that's what should happen, because this is a sham. It's a complete farce. There's no grounds. It's a waste of taxpayer money. It's a complete political witch hunt, 1,000,000,000%. But I don't think that's likely. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. Just give me a guilty or not guilty in the comments just right now. I'd love to hear what you guys think. So the reason I'm headed down this path is because I definitely think he's going to get convicted. I don't think they would have gone through all this trouble. I don't think they would have been so blatantly biased and gone after him on such a absolute nebulous, impossible charge as this, if they didn't think they were going to get a conviction. So, post-conviction pre-sentencing. After a guilty verdict, there's typically a period before sentencing during which the defense can file motions that could delay the process. These motions can include requests for a new trial. They could request that. Or to overturn the verdict based on legal errors made by in the first trial. I mean, they could definitely bring up Judge Juan Merchan's daughter and the conflict of interest, never mind all the fact that they've got no witnesses that have any credibility, that their entire case hinges on serial perjurist and serial liar Michael Pinocchio Cohen. Now, how does that appeal process work? If Trump appeals the conviction, the appeal itself could take several months to years to resolve. So during this time, the legal team could request that he remains free on bail. Now, generally, courts grant bail during the appeal process, especially for non-violent offenders with significant ties to the community and no prior criminal record. So the chance of that happening is very, very large. However, there's conditions. And conditions of appeal would be that Trump would have to comply with certain conditions set by the court. If these conditions are violated, which who judges that? You've got these absolute bias skewed, compromised people in the New York criminal justice system who are judging this. So if they're violated, he could be remanded into custody even before the appeal is resolved. If the appeal is successful, of course, the conviction could be overturned and Trump would avoid any jail time. If the appeal is unsuccessful, the original sentence would be upheld and then Trump would begin serving whatever sentence is imposed. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now, Nez Nation. You might be saying, Nez, why are you so cynical? Why are you not being more optimistic? You know, there's no case. Obviously, these witnesses are ridiculous. Well, I am just being realistic. It's not something I want. This trial should have never saw the light of court. I'm being realistic, I'm being pragmatic, and I'm being honest. I truly believe he is going to get a guilty verdict. The only reason is not because there's any grounds, not because there's any justification, not because there's any legal precedent here or legal verification. It's because they want the optics. They are going to use that phrase, convicted felon running for president. They are going to plaster that and bombard that in the brain of every American in every ad, on every post, on every tweet, on every website that they can't. Every flyer, poster, they're going to say it over and over again. All the pundits are going to use. They're not going to call him the former president, Mr. Trump, is running. They're going to say convicted felon, Mr. Trump. That's the new moniker. That's the whole purpose of this. It's House of Cards. This is totally House of Cards, except there is no camera and there is no script. Well, there might be a script. And it comes from Obama. It comes from the consortium. But that was their whole purpose of doing this. That was the whole purpose of taking this to trial. That was the whole purpose of putting Alvin Do Nothing Bragg, having him charge Trump, Letitia Big Shame James, Jack Criminal Smith, Fannie Cash Money G, Holy Macadamia Nut. That's their only purpose. The only purpose is not for him to actually go to jail, because it's so unlikely that's not going to happen. Knock on wood. It's not for him to actually even get, any sort of fines or probations, because that's not going to do any good, because now they see it's going to help his cause. They just want to use the moniker, and you're going to see all of these ridiculous, repulsive, vermin celebrities like Robert Whack Job De Niro and Barbara Streisand and Bet Nut Job Midler. You're going to see all these celebrities. You see, he's Rob Ryan. Oh, the list goes on and on. Mark Ruffalo, they're all going. You see, he's a convicted felon. How can you vote for a convicted felon? He was actually found to be guilty by a jury of his peers. They're going to go nuts on this. It's going to get you so sick. And it's just going to, all it's literally going to do is embolden more and more. I think it's going to embolden more and more Americans to be like, we're voting for Trump. We're sick and tired of your crap. So that's what I think is going to happen. I'm just being 100% honest about that. But I want to throw this off to you guys. What do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the outcome is? Let me know in the comments down below. This is going to be probably the biggest week, one of the biggest weeks of our country, one of the biggest weeks in the criminal justice system, one of the biggest weeks in the political campaign leading to the election in less than 6 months. This is going to be a huge week. So you want to make sure that you follow, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you never miss out. We have our free newsletter. It's free. That's your fail-safe. I would highly recommend, in the pinned comment, in the show notes and description, I would highly recommend you subscribe to our free newsletter so you never miss anything. It gets right to your inbox, no matter what these algorithms do, because sometimes when you follow, subscribe, I get messages all the time. Nez, I'm not getting your videos. This is your fail-safe. It's in the pinned comment. It's in the show. It's free. Just give us your best email. Boom, you're in. You'll never miss out. So I would highly recommend, because I'm gonna cover everything that happens this week, everything, so you don't miss out. This is your one-stop shop. But let me know. I want to hear from you. So I try really, really hard to respond to all the comments. It's literally physically impossible for me because we get thousands and thousands. Consider becoming a member if you made it this far. It only costs you a cup of coffee to support the channel a month. A cup of coffee. You spend more than that in 30 seconds every morning. And you get to help the cause. You get to get our country back. So I can keep creating. All proceeds go back into the channel so I can keep creating free content for you. This stuff ain't easy, y'all. So help a brother out. I'd really appreciate that. Also, super chats and super thanks. So appreciate you guys. And then lastly, I just want to say, if you're watching this as of this recording on Memorial Day 2024, May 27th, I just want to say God bless you. God bless all of our fallen soldiers, all of our amazing military family. God bless all of you. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Without you, we wouldn't have a country. I salute you. I want to say I love you. I appreciate you. We will never forget. Every day should be Memorial Day, because I will never forget. I'm eternally grateful for you. It is because of you that I'm doing all of this. Because if you look at the mission statement of our channel, the mission statement is to make patriotism go viral, backed up by the fact that this country has given me everything, and it is my mission to give back as much as possible. All the opportunities that I've been able to enjoy, all of you too watching this right now, is because of our fallen soldiers, our service men and women who fought, who sacrificed for our country. God bless you. I love you. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right now. And may God bless America. I'll see you soon.